Welcome to another episode of Garage419. I'm Matt. Leo is back on the show today to talk to us about the American car industry and what's going on in that. First, to respond to last week's question of the week, CarCrazy599 wrote in, why is Ford not bringing their European models here? I asked the head of PR at Ford, and they are. There are 6 of them coming here in the next 3 years, so take a look out for those with some eco-boosted 4-cylinder turbo engines as well as a Turbo 6. Talking about a lot of stuff, this is Garage419. Leo, welcome to the show again.
Hi, how are you?
Good to have you here.
Yep.
We're going to start off today talking about the Saturn Astra. Now, what's interesting about the Saturn Astra is Bob Lutz was quoted today as saying that he can't sell them here because the price point is too high. Meanwhile, I didn't even know this car was in this country until today. Can you what's going on with this car, Leo?
Saturn's interesting, and first of all, I would love to talk about exciting cars, but the news is all about the business of this industry, so we're stuck with a story like this. Saturn decided that they were going to be the new brand by importing Opels.
Okay.
Import cars.
Opel would be a GM brand in Europe, for those who don't know.
So they launched it with a campaign, Rethink American, as they were busy importing European cars.
As in rethink American badged European?
Yeah, something like that. So now Mr. Lutz announces that, surprise, lo and behold, the exchange rate of the dollar makes this whole concept untenable. I'm confused again.
Well, the point to me of importing the European model here would be that for some reason the European model is better than what we can build here.
Anyone remember Ion? I mean, of course this is a better car.
Yeah.
I would argue that they could come up with a better gen of the 1.8 engine in the car, but it's a better car.
Okay.
And when you start to play the comparable equipped, are they really that out to lunch?
No, I compared it to a comparably equipped Civic and a Mazda 3, and it was actually within a couple $100s of the same price. So the issue to me isn't really that they can't sell them because it's overpriced. I think the problem is that they can't sell them because it hasn't been marketed properly.
Well, and to your point, I believe that it all emanates from the car. There's no question. But you've got to let people know what you got.
Right.
So the most publicity Astra gets is the boss saying the car sucks, we can't sell it.
Well, look, I read car news 3 to 5 hours a day, every single day, and I kid you not, I did not know they were selling that car in this country.
Well,
I had
between
no
the porn,
idea.
between the porn and the car, I've now accounted for your
Look,
day. But
porn is only 4 hours.
Okay.
That's after work. But we got to move along because, I mean, there's really not much else to say. They can't sell the cars. If you really like one, here's a picture. Look at the picture. Okay, now go buy it. Moving right along. Jeep has come up with a new model called the J8. It's on the Unlimited chassis, the longer chassis. It's got a turbo diesel 4-cylinder that makes 300 pounds of torque, okay? And it's got a beefed up suspension, so it has a payload of 3,000 pounds in its pickup truck bed.
it's an intelligent, useful Hummer.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. What is the problem? I bet the audience can figure it out. It will be available in every country except this one. No Jeep J8 in the U.S. Apparently, they haven't found a way to make this turbo diesel 4-cylinder clean for the U.S. What's your take here?
Well, my take is that in August, if you look at sales, Chrysler lost 1 out of every 3 of their customers. Apparently, they're on the plan to get rid of the other 2.
I mean, all they've got, it's funny. The only cars they have left with any character are the Viper and the Wrangler. There's no other cars in their lineup that
Get your checkbook out. Viper's for sale. Didn't you read that?
Oh, yeah. Let's pick that one up while we're at
And
it.
speaking of for sale, I think that's what's happening. Isn't the VW, whatever it is, van?
The Rutan?
Thank you.
The Rutan, yeah, here's the thing with the Rutan. The Rutan is the new Volkswagen van, right? But it's a Caravan. Dodge it's a Caravan with a new front end on it and some new trim inside. Same thing, Nissan Titan. That's the new Dodge Ram with a different body on it.
Alfa Romeo is shopping for assembly plants. They're talking to Chrysler.
Right.
I think this thing is going the route of, they may not be a car company anymore, they may be a vendor.
Just a parts supplier for other companies that might want a chassis here or a body here, and is that going to be it?
It's private label, but you gotta love the VW ad with the Brooke Shields. Buried in there is a line that talks about this van as German-inspired engineering.
Well, I'll tell you something right now. The Germans did not inspire the engineering in this piece of crap. They had a microbus concept from 2001 that was an awesome execution of retro future. It looked cool. It had character. But instead, we get a Caravan with a weird VW thing on the front of it.
You may be shocked to hear me say this, but if the Beaners are running the company, you'll lose out on cool products. VW needs to have cool cars.
They do. Unpimps this thing, yeah. Speaking of unpimping the auto, GM insiders have released, well, not released, but leaked some information that says the next Escalade is going to move from its current truck platform into the Lambda crossover platform, which, if you may know, is what the Chevy Traverse, Buick Enclave, and Saturn Outlook are on. You know, Leo, I don't know what you think about this, but I think it might actually be a good move because they say it'll be more comfortable, ride better, more useful, and the interior could be improved too.
Yeah, but normally I support things being small.
Yeah.
However, the whole essence of this Escalade is this monolithic thing that makes a statement running down the street
Right.
for young Type A's and whoever's. That's the essence of what Cadillac wanted to be with this thing. Now I guess all bets are off.
Well, before there was a Prius and before gas was $4 a gallon, the Escalade was the way to be cool.
Don't tell Bob Lutz.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Actually, Kanye West was quoted as saying, Bob Lutz hates black people. Go figure. Now, coming up on Garage419, we're going to talk about changing EPA standards that may mess around with hybrid gas mileage ratings, and is it the look or the sound of the revving engine that actually gets the juices flowing? Stick around. And we're back, Leo Parente. Leo, the EPA has said that they're going to change standards of gas mileage testing, especially with relation to hybrid cars. Now, do you know how they work right now?
Well, I know enough. I mean, if you look at the EPA sticker, it's highway ratings, city ratings.
Right.
It's all about how fast you're going. They run it through a loop. They give you an estimate. There are your numbers.
Okay. Now, what they're saying now is, see, the new Chevy Volt is coming out and supposedly can run for 40 miles on battery only, okay?
Correct.
And they're betting that most people will drive less than 40 miles a day and can charge it overnight. It's a plug-in hybrid.
Well, and to that point, as a sidebar, I found a chart that the government provided that if you look at people's daily commute, 90% travel 1 to 30 miles in their commute one way. 78%, and even GM put it in an ad, 78% travel 1 to 20 miles, so when you do the round trip,
Is
you're
40.
in the 40 miles.
Okay, so at that rate, you could be essentially getting the equivalent of 100 plus miles per gallon, right?
But that's a problem, apparently.
It's not, it's a little bit misleading, because if you then drive more than that, the diesel engine comes on, and there you go.
And that's what they're trying to adjust for that, but they haven't come up with a solution yet, and now it's let the negotiations begin.
Right. So with the new ratings, they take into account longer driving, where in this particular car, the Volt, it would use a lot more of the gas engine, which brings its mileage rating down to about 50 miles per gallon from 100.
You know, the numbers have always been relative numbers. No one's supposed to look at that number and say, that's the mileage I'm going to get. They've tried to make the testing to get it closer to that because we had this whole discussion with Prius. It seems like there's a fundamental logic here that now needs to kind of be rethought. When you did the initial testing with traditional cars, the engine runs, you drive the car, you get the mileage at a certain speed.
Yeah.
Now, with range of batteries, and then when does the engine kick in, it's not about how fast you go, it's how far you go.
And how you're driving when you're doing it.
So if you're doing a commute, if the average is 20-mile commute for 78% of the people,
right.
If you look at 20,000 miles a year, 365 days out of the year, that's 55 miles average. Maybe the two ratings shouldn't be city and highway, but local commute and distance commute.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something here to really give you an accurate read of what's going to happen. Then go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, well, with different types of hybrid drivetrains, you know, is it directly connected? Does it go back and forth? Is it a diesel or a gas? Is it a plug-in? I mean, maybe we need individual ratings for each different type of hybrid, or is that just too complicated?
I don't know, but all anyone wants to ultimately know is how much is it going to cost for me to own this car and operate it?
All right.
And
what about just getting in it fully full and driving it until you can't drive it anymore? Is that an answer?
You know, the government owes everyone an answer. The government owes the industry the answer. People deserve to know what's going on. It's something that needs to be addressed if you're going to underwrite all these companies doing these type of cars.
All right, well, actually, that's going to be our question of the day today. If you have an answer for the EPA and how to test gas mileage for cars, let us know. Leave a comment. Our final story of the day, always like to end it on a high note. I got a good one here for you.
Go.
Stop wasting money on those aero kits. The big wings, the downforce kits, the rims. You don't need them. What do you need? A big engine and a nice loud exhaust. Now, there was a study done in England that said that both women and men showed increased testosterone levels when played the sound of Maserati and Lamborghini revving engines, whereas their testosterone levels sharply dropped when they were played the sound of a Volkswagen Golf. Leo, what do you like to rev?
Well, first, all these years wasting time playing the music Feelings trying to get laid. Number two, did they study burnouts? Because there's got to be something in here about the correlation of properly using a rubber and getting...
Oh, zing!
Oh,
Leo!
Yahoo!
Yeah! The man's got some wits left in him. So anyway, if you want to get chicks, do not go to a car show. Drive back and forth really loud in first gear, 8,000 RPM. It does it every time.
Or cash.
Or Leo, always good to have you on the show, buddy. Thanks for coming around. My name's Matt. Remember, question of the day, how should the EPA test mileage? I want to know from you. And until next time, this is Garage419. I'm out of here.
Next New Networks, exclusive video partner for the Web 2.0 Expo, September 16th through the 19th. Garage419 fans save $100 with our exclusive code.